The metal bars creaked under the strain of the group of goats. Several arms grabbed the bars, twisting them with superhuman strength. However, some bars were being pulled in opposite directions by different hands. Apparently they were really stupid. The way those countless hands were grabbing the metal bars happened to match up by chance. Several hands grasping two metal bars neatly put their power together and pulled the bars to the left and right, creating an opening. The incredible sound of metal bending could be heard, and that gap was getting larger bit by bit. They attacked the arms of those goats one by one, but they weren't getting anywhere. They couldn't stop the gap from expanding left and right. A loud metallic sound came from behind them. Kanon had finally finished cutting.
早く。
キリエさん、レディーファーストだ。南條先生も続いてる。
旦那様、ここは僕に任せてください。これは
Kanon's red sword, which he had cut the metal bars, disappeared. Oh no.
ごめん、ワルギリア様の霊視線影響下に入った。私たちの魔力が中和されてる。
よくも大魔女と呼ばれた私にここまで抗ったものです。もはやその地下道ではあなたたちの魔法は使えませんよ。
A magic circle column drew complex medical formulae around Virgilia. Oh brother. Make sure you don't get too excited. Otherwise you're gonna bite your tongue again. With such full-fledged magic being used, Shannon's power couldn't even compete. On the contrary, it was surprising that she had withstood as much as she had.
霊視優勢を確保。さあ、シエスタ姉妹。今度こそあなたたちの出番ですよ。ってまだ再起動してるんですか？なんで最近の子は寝起きが悪いの？
申し訳ありませんであります。私たち全員バージョンが違ってて。なんでバージョン変わるたびにショートカットとプルダウンがしっちゃかめっちゃかになるに。
Damn you, AAA magic industry!
前回不正の終了がありました？管理者権限？何これわけわかんない！
All these nonsense updates! All these microtransactions!
早く直して！
この得体トラブルシュートにコール。何？ユーザーコードがないと教えない？
ユーザーコードは45が管理してるに。
9999にしか聞こえん。紙に書かせろ。
言語支援システム再起動できてないから文字も書けないに。
Okay, then let me see if I can do this myself. Let's see. Okay, so 999999999. The digital root for this is 9. Turn it upside down and you have 6. Turn it right side up and you have 9 again.
お前たちはゆっくり修理していなさい。私が行ってきます。
ごめんなさい。
The narrow underground passage was packed with goats, truly like a commuter train in the morning. Virginia was again in disbelief at this congestion.
何をやってるんですか？ご褒美が欲しいから一番乗りがしたい？他のヤギにご褒美を奪われたくないから邪魔をし合っている？このおバカヤギたちが！私が行きますから道を開けなさい。何？嫌ですって？ワルギリア様がご褒美を奪うつもりだ？なんでスクラム組んでるんですか？
Uh-oh.
きつい狭い。いつからここはヤギ専用車両に？うぎゅー！今お尻触った子、次の駅で降りなさい！
Oh my. Should I be watching this?
何あなた、こっちへ来いって。
The 5 people in Krause's group dashed through the passageway with all their strength. They couldn't afford to dawdle around on the ground. They had to quickly join up with the children on the surface. Once everyone was together, there will no longer be anything to fear. Just then, a terrible rumble started closing in from behind. Had the pursuers finally made it through the metal bars? But they couldn't see anyone when they turned around. But the rumble and the dirt falling here and there from the ceiling grew closer and closer, finally catching up with them and even going past them. Huh? It felt almost like they had been passed by ghosts. The instant after they thought that nothing had happened, the ceiling in front of them fell in, and a single goat stood in their path. Virgilia was sitting on his shoulder. Having fun, Virgilia?
賢い子が近道を知っていました。偉い子ですね。一等賞ですよ。後で手作りのサバのカレー煮をご馳走してあげますよ。
Well, look at you getting a piggyback for free. Maybe he really was happy even to receive such a dubious prize. The master ghost showed his joy by putting its hand together and wiggling. Oh, I'm sure it is quite an honor. Ho 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 ho! Vegeta leapt down, laughing that Noby was finally checkmate.
くそ、ダメだ。魔力が完全に殺されてる。
まだよ。魔法がなくても、私たちにはまだこの体がある。
無茶だ。あんな化け物にあの不思議な力がなくて戦えるわけがない。子供たちは下がっていたまえ。私が何とかするから、その隙にあの化け物の両脇を駆け抜けるんだ。
させませんよ。
Vegeta clapped her hands, and a purple magic barrier appeared behind her, stealing even the faint hope that Krause had been betting on.
断じキュースか。いや、まだだ。ジェシカも戦った。私が戦わんわけにはいかん。
本気なの？無理よ、あんな巨大な化け物に。
むちゃくちゃだ。クラウスさん、他の方法を考えましょう。思いついたら提案してくれたまえ。それまでは私が何とかするしかないようだ。さあ、下がりたまえ。
気をつけて。おやおや、クラウス、あなた一人でこの子と戦うつもりですか？
わからんぞ。戦いにはまぐれあたりの一発だってあり得る。
まぐれでも勝てるつもりとお思いですか？身の程知らずのあなたのために私が状況を整理して差し上げましょう。
何？
あなたが 100% の力を発揮したとして、あなたの戦闘力はせいぜい6。対してこの子の戦闘力は1000。つまりあなたが100人束になっても絶対に勝てないということです。まあ確かに戦いには不確定要素もあります。その戦闘力に多少の倍率がかかることも認めましょう。しかしそれでもあなたがこの子を倒せる確率は 0.00001% というところでしょうか。
The hell?
お分かりかしら？あなたには万に一つの勝ち目もないということです。
Vegeta and the goat guffawed together.
くそ。万一ということは 配当は1万倍ということではないかね。いい大穴だ。そういう馬券は好きだよ。買いたくなる。
それを買うコインはあなたの命1枚しかありませんよ。しかしそれでもその奇跡に運命を託したいというあなたの気持ちよくわかります。ですので恐れずに立ち向かうあなたの勇気をたたえ一つハンデを差し上げましょう。この子は左腕一本で戦います。
Okay, I swear I'm not the one doing that. Unless it's just me and I'm starting to see numbers again. I mean, Jesus.
まあそれでもあなたに負ける気は全くしませんが、それにしても何かしら、さっきからピンポンピンポンと。
I honestly thought that was you for a second there.
よかろう。その勝負受けて立ってやる。左腕だろうとなんだろうと、どうせ私は一撃で殺されるだろう。私のチャンスもまた一撃しかないのだ。それに全てかけるしかあるまい。
むちゃくちゃだ、クラウスさん。あんたがボクシングをやってたことは知っているが、それでも大学時代のはず。いやいや、仮にプロのボクサーがいたとしても、あんな化け物一撃で倒せるはずもない。
リングの上での試合なら確かにね。でもクラウス兄さんが望みをかけるチャンスがわずかだけどあるわ。彼はそれに全て望みをかけている。
まさか。
Is this Bern Castell's doing? Like Bern, are you the one who is going all bing bong?
しかしそんなのもうまくいくわけがない。
旦那様。
見ていろ。一撃で決めてやる。
How unwise. I know what you're gunning for. The distance between the two of them is more than 10 meters. If the Goten girls both step in, with all their strength to settle the fight with a single blow, their power will double the norm. Both will crash together, so it'll be a relative 4 times normal. Even if, on top of that, the strike miraculously lands on a weak point for a critical hit, that will only double the power. In short, Kraus's maximum power level of 6 times 8 will cap out at 48 at most. He might just barely be able to win if he repeated that lucky shot at full 20 times. If you're killed every time you take a hit, and your damage still accumulates, let's see, perhaps you could finally win when we get to episode 24? Maybe 22 at most. If only this series could stretch on so long. Christ. I will probably end the series in the year 2028. Either way, you don't even have the slightest chance of victory. Good gracious, what is that bing bong I keep hearing?
私も一撃に全てをかけさせていただく。ヤギ君も遠慮することはない。本気で来たまえ。
全力を要望ですよ。本気の一撃で粉砕し、肉片に変えてやりなさいな。
As the goat got excited and beat his chest over and over, he took a position as though preparing for a sprint. Is this what you were hoping for? Stake your hopes on your greatest power level, and despair when even that doesn't reach at all. Seriously, it pained again! That thing is really getting on my nerves. What is it?
行くぞ。いいかね。
The goat roared in response. Then, with a match timing that only the men confronting each other could comprehend, The two leapt forward like bullets shot out of a gun. The men howled, collecting the strength for all over their bodies into one arm each. The goat's fiery, glowing eyes clearly locked onto Kraus's face. He could perfectly see a vision of when he would step forwards, when he would punch through Kraus and blow him away, and when he would achieve his total victory. The long, painful days before today drifted through the goat's mind. As he deeply regrets the decisions he has made in his life, he yearns once more for the day when he would finally settle himself and create a family. The hard days of training where his senpais had picked up on him. The faint glimpses of his senpais weren't concerned during those days. And the joy of that day, his power had been unlodged, and he had been accepted as one of them. And waiting for the day to come when his wish will finally come true. Of Gap stepping on him fiercely as he mutters, "Thank you. Oh, thank you, senpai." I never properly respected my parents. That's right, I'd actually planned on washing my hands of this business when this job was dull, and returning to my hometown. Sorry, my little goat sister. Your Oni-chan caused you nothing but trouble. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure your Coco goat sister Ganyu is very proud of his Oni-chan. And I actually have a childhood friend, and I'm going to marry her when I get home. Oh my god!
そのパンチはダメよ。避けて。
It happened the instant before the two crashed and their punches crossed.
愚かね、ワルギリア。冷静な判断を欠いたようよ。
そのパンチを受けてはなりません。
弾きなさい。
The very instant the goat's left straight and Kraus's right straight crossed. The goat obeyed Vegeta's order with super fast reflexes and pulled back his straight, deflecting Kraus's punch. Yes, Vegeta's decision was probably wise. After all, the number of loser flags act as a multiplier on the opponent's power level. Yes! The loser flags! The secret weapon that we needed all along!
危ないところでした。こんな負けフラグ立てまくりの状態で食らっていたら、どれほどの威力に倍率がかかっていたことか。さあ、そこでガラ空きの右側面に右ストレートを叩き込んでやりなさい。何？左腕一本で戦う約束？約束は破るためにあるのでしょうが！
You just made it worse, you know.
また立った。
失望よ、ワルギリア。あなたはやはり冷静を欠いていたわ。
なんですって。直前に気づいて避けさせた私のどこが冷静でないと。
どうしてですか、キリエ様。あのまま激突していたら旦那様の勝ちだったのでは。
そうか。負けフラグの数が20でもまだ足りないんだ。
Krasus and the goat's double rush make it ×4. With a miracle on their side, the firm promise of a critical hit will double it again for ×8. On top of that, a multiplier of ×20 equal to the number of tripped loser flags applies, making it ×160. At a glance, that looks like an incredible amplification. But even so, Kraus's power level is 6. Even multiplied by 160, you only mix for a power level of 960. Just a fraction below the goat's 1000. Which means that we need more loser flags. Goat Demon! Remember just before how Virgilia was sitting on your shoulder? Fight for your witch waifu in the name of love.
だから冷静じゃないと言ったのよ。あなた失敗したわ。そのまま激突していればあなたの勝ちだったのよ。たとえそうだったとしても、この右ストレートでクラウスの頭を砕けば同じこと。死ね、後ろ宮クラウス。
食らいたまえ、ボクシング界最強の一撃を。
Having deflected Krause's right straight, the goat's own right straight closed in on the right side of Krause's face, which had been left open. But there, it crossed with a left straight from Krause. The two punches crossed, and time stopped as each aimed for the face of the other.
まさかこのタイミングで相打ちに持ってくるとは。しかし戦闘力は160倍止まりで960。うちの子の1000には及びませんでしたよ。
いや、ワルギリアさん、あんたの負けだ。
どうして？
あんた最初のクロスカウンターを弾かせちまった。確かにその次に繰り出した右ストレートが当たればクラウスさんは粉々にされていただろう。しかしそいつをクロスされてしまった。こりゃダメだ。悪いがあんたんとこのヤギさんの乾杯だよ。
A cross counter has 4 times the destructive power. This is common knowledge in boxing. And if that is deflected, and the right straight hits, then the double cross counter has 8 times the destructive power. This is also common knowledge in boxing. If that is crossed, by the principle of leverage, the triple cross then multiplies the destructive power by 12! This is also painfully common knowledge in the world of boxing.
クラウスさんの戦闘力は6。
Damn it. I should have watched some more Hajime no Ippo before this.
双方2倍の踏み込みで4倍。
クリティカルヒットで8倍。
負けフラグの立てすぎで160倍。
そしてトリプルクロスカウンターでさらに12倍。
1920倍。
A power level of 11,520! It's over 9! What was it again? 900? 999? Damn it, I forgot. Krause's punch now had the power to easily win that Budokai tournament. Take that, Piccolo!
これは勝利を最後まで諦めなかったクラウスさんの執念とあんたの慢心が招いた結果だ。どちらが欠けてもこの威力にはならなかった。あんたよく戦ったよ。もう倒れてもいいんだぞ。
Nanjo patted the goat on the shoulder. Oh, Nii-chan gave it his all. As the sparkling drops from the goat's eyes scattered, he softly toppled backwards and flattened Virgilia like a pancake. The goat's massive body was too heavy for the slender Virgilia. She floundered around with it on top of her, but it didn't look like she would be able to escape. In an instant, the barrier Virgilia had sealed broke.
悪く思うな。テコの原理を侮ったのが君の敗因だ。
どうしてあのカウンターでテコの原理が働くのかしらね。永遠の謎だわ。
今のうちに逃げましょう。ヤギさんもお大事に。
それでは失礼します、ワルギリア様。
ペコリ。
待ちなさい。これどけて。
Yeah. Sorry for the loss, Virgilia. You did your best. I think this should make you feel better. Here. I know, sweetie, I know. There. There was nothing more to block their way. They ran through the underground passage with single-minded purpose. Jessica had finally been cornered with a wall at her back. His magic barrier was advancing bit by bit, and would probably crush her against the wall before long. Oh no. Considering the distance, this will be the final strike. The final throw of her iron fist. Oh god. Jessica had dealt out many punches so far. The wall wasn't invincible. It had already started to crack, and it wouldn't be strange for it to smash at any moment. However, due to the rebounding damage, Jessica herself was in a very bad shape, with cuts all over her body. Come on, Jess. Just a little bit and you can destroy the barrier. Ronoe is basically... he's basically sweating buckets here. Look at him. Not even Phoenix Wright was sweating buckets that much in his trials. The damage reflected by Ronoe's magic barrier was proportional to the strength of the attack. Jessica was all-out punched. Jessica's all-out punch would be bounced back onto her. The more all-out she went, the more suicidal it would be for her. That was a fact. But Ronoe's will was already on the verge of breaking. On top of that, Jessica's fist had been imbued with an unimaginable magical attack powered by No, and their destructive power defied the imagination. If she wasn't careful, that destructive power might pierce the defensive wall, smash Ronoe as well, and then go on to expand the size of her bedroom by connecting it to the next room next door. Oh god. However, that damage would rebound on Jessica as well. She wouldn't escape unharmed. Jessica howled, putting all her strength and her last and greatest destructive power into her fist. She roared. The three goats had been beaten down long ago. Without a single ragged breath, George cautiously closed the distance between him and Gup. He was after her. He was planning on bringing her down with a single strike. Gup was also aiming for a single strike. If she let that chance slide, this time she would be killed. Even the tiny moment of weakness during the time it took to open the hole would prove fatal against George now. Gop cautiously calculated the distance in time. But even as she did, George closed the gap between them.
来ないなら行くよ。
来なさいよ。今さら小細工も何もないわ。私のこの蹴りで決着をつけてやる。
The instant she noticed George's body blur, only his jacket was floating in the air. A short sound of realization entered her mind, and in an instant, darkness covered her. George, with his heels swung up high, looked even like a massive dragon attacking from the sky.
かかったわね。これで私の勝ちよ。後ろ宮ジョージ。
何？
Gop opened a vast pit with her in the center, and swallowed up George along with herself. The two were swallowed up by the pit, and sped off from the ceiling of the arbor. Oh no. George, be careful of the drop kicks! But that was what Gop had been after, so she alone landed lightly. But there was another pit in George's landing spot.
もらったわ。後ろ宮ジョージ。面白かったわよ。死になさい。あんたみたいな上等。後ろ宮家の当主なんてもったいないわ。今この場で私が食ってあげる。
George once again fell from the ceiling of the arbor. He had probably been dropped the same distance as falling off the roof of a two-story building. In midair, he couldn't control his posture in any way. It was impossible to resist or defend or avoid. As Gop spun like a whirlwind, she concentrated all of her energy on the sharp tip of her stiletto heel. This was the final strike, to perform his requiem. The Queen Bee's final strike, that would bore into heaven, knocking him down into the true abyss.
ようこそ奈落へ。ここがあんたの終着点よ。
Here, her prey captured in her sight, she launched her foot up into the sky. It was then that she saw George's face. While he was in midair, he was calmly adjusting his glasses with the middle finger of his left hand. And his posture was still preserved as that of an axe kick. Aiming for Gop's forehead, without the faintest deviation.
君がその手に出ることは想定済みだったよ。
Alright, George. Kick her back into the abyss!
僕が地上の君に飛びかかとを食らわせるために飛んでいたなら、僕の姿勢はとっくに崩れていただろうさ。しかし、僕の姿勢はいささかも崩れない。なぜかわかるかい？僕は初めから2フロア下の君にかかとを食らわせるつもりで飛んでいる。君の負けだ、お嬢さん。
ピンポーン。
Oh no! George took out! Jessica's last and strongest support punch reached the wall and was sucked in. He was sucked into the black, large hole that had suddenly opened on the wall.
だからおやめなさいと忠告したのに。
Oh no. Don't tell me that Jessica was teleported and hit George instead!
実は全然ピンチでもなんでもなかったの。ごめんなさいね。
Jessica's fist had gone for George's stomach, and George's axe kick had lined up on Jessica's head. Oh no! The shocking destructive power imbued with Jessica's fist crushed George's organs and scattered his abdomen. The equally as shocking destructive power in George's axe kick smashed half of Jessica's head and scattered its contents in the same manner.
だって魔女は演技力なんでしょう。ねえねえリーチェどうよ見ててくれたかしら。やるな筋書き通り。やっぱガープは分かってるじゃん。イエーイ。
Gato and Gop gave each other a light high five. Boo! Boo! What a sucky twist. I guess it makes sense now why George and Jessica did the test at the same time. You guys suck.
ありがとロノウェイ。こっちで美味しくいただけた。ジェシカの死体はそっちに返すわ。二人で寄り添う死体を引き離す。これで第二の晩は出来上がり。
Gop dropped Jessica's corpse into a pit and chucked all the chunks of meat, too, into Jessica's room, as carelessly as throwing them into the trash. Jessica's corpse and lumps of flesh fell from the ceiling and poured out all over her room. Noby shook his head slightly at this all too gruesome change.
申し訳ございませんね、ジェシカ様。
Well, I guess it was to be expected that things won't go as great as I would have hoped. Silly me. Well, nonetheless, I'm gonna have to thank you, Noby, for testing Jessica. You were a good fighter. You have my respect. You have my respect, Noby.
ご忠告は申し上げたのですよ。もっともこの結末を予見し聞き入れないと分かっている忠告を重ねる悪魔の醍醐味は人間には分からないでしょうがね。プシッ
本当に面白かったわ坊や。
Alright, well, you two, Gop. I'm not gonna act like a sore loser. You acted your part quite well, so here. A congratulatory handshake.
でもあんたちょっと言葉遊びが過ぎるわよ。そろそろ反撃してもいいかなが最高傑作。あなたどこかのラノベか何かにかぶれすぎよ。
In the arbor brutally decorated by George and Jessica's scattered blood and guts, Gop enjoyed a loud laugh for a while. Alright, well, I guess that means that this is the end of today's fight. Had my fun, but I guess it's time to go back to the regular schedule of Umineko no Naku Koro ni. So, let's get to it. But she quickly realized that, in all seriousness, this was a little too filthy and undignified. And she snapped her fingers. As she did, gold butterflies rose up from the ground all around the garden, stuck to each of the bits and stained patches of blood, and got them out. I mean, I do also have to thank Virgilia for making me have like a few laughs here and there. She was She was quite golden here. I mean, I had a lot of fun, thanks to her as well. Then, bit by bit, they slowly turned back into the George's corpse. And the awful corpse with its guts that were all out was repaired into a clean corpse that looked like he was sleeping. And the Chister sisters and the goats, they did quite well. Is there some kind of post-mortem sportsmanship towards a good opponent? The heavens were slowly split, because Gop had lifted a leg high into the air, pointing at the sky.
じゃあね、色男。これが本当のゲームオーバー。
Squish. Without a trace of mercy, their foot was brought down and buried into George's face, and buried into George's forehead. Her stiletto heel, sharp as a weapon, was impaled through George's forehead. She pulled it out with a blow up. It was like a mark. It was like a mark of proof that Gop had indeed finished him by her own hand. Noby returned Jessica's corpse to its original form as well. And like how it had been with George, he also restored Jessica's life. Oh?
これは一体夢？
いいえ、違います。ジェシカ様は確かにお亡くなりになりました。最後の瞬間の記憶をよくご存知のはずだ。
He was burned into the back of Jessica's mind. For some reason, she remembered being thrown somewhere, and that her head had been smashed by George's heel.
私は生きてるのか？
いいえ、死んでいます。私の魔法でほんの3分ほどそれを先送りにしているに過ぎません。3分が過ぎれば魔法が終わり、あなたは無残な頭部半壊の死体に戻ります。
だと
死は残酷です。多くの場合、心の整理さえ与えない。しかし私はここまで検討したあなたをたたえ、その時間を与えることにしました。その3分間でこの世の未練をよく整理されるといいでしょう。
Oh, thank you, Noby. You are the demon of honor. Well, you heard him, Jess. Any last words?
その3分でお前を道連れにするという手もあるぜ。
But the power that had been burning inside Jessica's body was now completely lost. Jessica was aware of that herself. She was already dead.
それでは私はこれにて失礼いたします。楽しかったですよ、ジェシカ様。
Noby turned his form into a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. Wait, hold on. I thought that the 3 minutes are meant for Jessica to say her last words to Noby before her death, right? All that remained was the sound of the wind and rain, and the figure of Jessica crouching down against the wall. Wait a minute. Does this mean that she is free to do whatever for 3 minutes? Jessica, quick! Grab a phone and call Battler. Tell him what happened. then Jessica realized, after 3 minutes, she probably really would revert to the corpse she had been. In those 3 minutes, was there anything she could do? She stood up, and with a shaky gait, took the phone that was on the desk. Alright, good. Call Balor and tell him what happened, like in detail.
もしもし、ジェシカか。ジェシカ、どうした？無事か？